Alrighty. So, cruise was one of the expansions that we heard about, but let's not forget there's others in this region. Arctic Acres, in Rideau Lakes is expanding. Northern Cables, I know they're going to be expanding. And also Greenfield Global is still currently expanding. Prismium in Johnstown is expanding. Voltaire Electric in Merrickville-Wolford. New high-speed electric boats being built there. Pickle and Merthyr expanding. So much expansion happening. Many, many more. One of the largest announcements. One of the largest announcements in the region this year was Leclerc in Brockville, who was brought to the region by the St. Lawrence Economic Commission corridor to fill the vacancy of the P&G building. This is a $100 million investment with over 234 jobs over 2 years and is anticipated to generate $133.4 million of direct, indirect, and induced income into Eastern Ontario. This is a great news story. We're certainly inviting them to come to the summit, but weren't quite ready yet this year. Let them get, similar to what we did with Giant Tiger, let them get established, and we'll see if they bring us cookies next year. As of October, and this will relate to some of the other speakers that we've had, the unemployment rate, and we fall between two catchment areas. So the unemployment rate for Kingston, this is October 22, Kingston and Pembroke was 4.7%. And in Ottawa, which captures another portion of our area, was 4.2. Leeds Grenville is in these two areas. Both of these regions that include us are lower than the Ontario unemployment rate at 5.8. Okay, so this is a big reason as to why we're hearing the difficulty. Our unemployment rate in this area is very low compared even to the provincial area. When it comes to industry and growth, it is projected by the end of the year, we'll see job growth of 271 jobs by the end of 2022. This only includes companies that have employees, not those that are self-employed. And we have a very high percentage of that in this region. Highest areas of job growth, healthcare and social services, followed by administration and support, waste management and remediation. Sector growth is similar to what we have seen in past years. Before, we used to see it heavily into the manufacturing. They're heavily going robotic and digital, and now we're seeing that job growth go into our healthcare. We're an aging society. The 5-year projections, we are seeing the same industry growth projection of 841 jobs being created between 2022 and 2025. So this year, we did the survey that we've done in past, and we wanted to really understand our local economy. And so we did this survey from the period of October 4th to the 30th, and we had 340 businesses respond from all different areas. During the pandemic, we started with this survey to get a sense of how could we help support business, and how can the working group get help to them. Here's the breakdown of municipalities on the number of respondents and somewhat reflective of the number of businesses in each municipality. Individual municipal report breakdowns will be provided to each municipality. Hopefully we'll have them done before the holidays to give you a Christmas present. And also, so as you as councils will have a stronger indication of what's happening within your municipality. So this is the regional report, and we'll give you just a flavor and sampling of this. The survey had a solid mix of two types of businesses, the different types of business, retail being the highest to respond, and that has been the case for 2 years, but we are very heavy in retail. 91% of the respondents have 19 or less employees, and you can see the number that actually don't have and are self-employed as the top one there at 36.58. This is a reflective number that 90.85% of the business, is nearly 91% in this region, is small business, and this is the importance of small business in our region. Nearly 70% of businesses indicated their activity level today, this is as of October, compared to pre-pandemic levels, are the same or higher. This is great news for our region. We still need to continue to support that other 70% as we continue to navigate the pandemic. Nearly 74% are confident their demand levels, because we had thought, okay, the growth is good, but are they confident this is going to continue? 74% are confident that this will continue. Again, this is great news. In speaking with some businesses, we knew this might be the case, but it's actually now nice to see it in the numbers. This also reflects why, with that amount of growth and confidence, why our unemployment rate is so low in this region. There's a little concern here, but hopefully Pierre's comments earlier today will change that. Nearly 47% of businesses in the region are not confident in the strength of the current economy. But on the flip side, 53% are neutral and confident. So hopefully with this thought of growth is going to slow, but not stop. So this is good news. This is also an encouraging slide. Oh, hang on. Didn't click, there we go. Encouraging slide for us as it validates our reason to why we focused on business retention and growth. Specifically, digital services support. I'll speak more shortly on the numbers associated with this, and you've heard some of that testimonial earlier. We still know that over 100 businesses of the 340 surveyed are still seeking digital support. This was not the case when we went into the pandemic, and you heard some of that testimony of some didn't even have websites or even existing or connecting to e-commerce, and you're now seeing the difference on what this can make. Biggest challenges in business is seeing are increasing product prices, we've heard that, and increased overhead costs. And so the numbers from 7 to 10 are the highest on the ranking. Biggest challenges when it comes to workforce, as anticipated, we've heard this so far, is challenges in attracting new employees, and now we've just heard how we can perhaps look at different ways to do that, followed by the ability to pay competitive wages. And we are hearing that people are having to increase wages in order to retain their employees. Workforce. It was an open-ended question asking what should the region focus on to address workforce shortages. And this was open-ended, so what we've done is a word cloud sees common words: training, affordable housing, and incentives. And so we're hearing some of that, and again, we need those additional incentives to make opportunities happen for that training background. Support for businesses. What were their top 3 areas of support? Again, it was an open question. The most helpful ones was marketing and advertising of the region and its businesses, funding, grants, and also support for small business. And being the area that we are in, we can understand why that came up. Business expectations for 2023. For continued increased business and hope of growth, overall fairly optimistic, I would say. Businesses are looking to increase, and we're seeing that continuously. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it's the rest of the Ontario that slows down, and we'll just continue to grow. Our work doesn't stop here. 124 businesses out of those surveyed are asking for additional support. That's not only digital, but also in the way of what other funding programs. And I just had an email yesterday saying regrets, but I need help on funding programs. So we're looking to see how we continue. And that's where the county's made that additional investment in having Shelby's position, the business development officer, so that we could get out and visit with as many businesses as possible and getting visitations in to see how we can support. And the digital support has been the other area. So here's some of the numbers. In this survey, we discussed the positive results we are seeing on the online and the 5 digital squads. This is the impact of what happened here. 1,289 businesses have been helped in the past 2 years. That's remarkable. And this is as of November of this, I think it was last week actually, so 220 of the businesses, so 220 of those 3 people that you just saw received that digital transformation grant. New investment of the area, which meant in total was $550,000. The OBIA have spent time and with us and also supporting the digital services, all 5 of them, which increased the overall investment in the region to $1.124 million have been brought into the region, whether through grants or support money to help our businesses. Because not everyone's eligible for the grant, but doesn't mean they're not eligible for help. And that's being provided by our digital services. As of April 1, 2022, the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville agreed to manage the contract with the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade for the Leeds Grenville Small Business Centre. For the past 20 years, this has been done by the City of Brockville. After a best practices report, it was completed and agreed that this was the best opportunity for further integration and opportunities to work together. And with that, why was that? Well, because a lot of the municipalities that we work with are members of the counties, United Counties. And Rob Nolan and I, who's here today, work very heavily and continue to collaborate along with our other partner municipalities to make sure those services continue seamlessly. I'm delighted to have Jeanette Johnson, wave back at the back there, under the county's umbrella, as well as Carol Hardy. Is she still out in, oh, there's Carol on the side, join our team. And they will be remaining focused, as you heard, the importance of small business in this region. This integration is going on currently, and Carol and Jeanette will be moving over to the county's Economic Development Office in January. Since April to September of this year, they have already received up to 713 inquiries with 25 businesses that have been started and 26 jobs created in this area. The summer company program had an amazing 5 students, and it was amazing to see them blossom. And they are now in the process of conducting interviews for their Starter Company Plus, and we anticipate to see 12 new companies starting up under this program. County's Economic Development was asked to host the regional showcase, and you heard Mayor Peckford talking a little about this. Just to kind of give you a little highlight of what happened there. We started with a blank field at the IBM, and then it became this overnight, just like that. There was lots of mud, there was lots of fun in pulling this together, but a city was created overnight. And you can see our footprint just in the red outline. This is the area that we featured. Over 50 exhibitors came into the Leeds Grenville showcase. There was activations of all types, and certainly their booths were outstanding. So I appreciate everyone that was involved in that. I know North Grenville also had a showcase area, and what a tremendous event this was. One of the things I wanted to talk a little about of how do we get more information and manage that information. And one of the key things that if we want to promote the businesses, and this is what they've asked us to do, is help promote them, we need to make sure we have the data to help do that. So we have an interactive real-time business directory that is integrated also into many of the other municipal sites. If it's not, it can be. This helps provide ease of maintenance for the business. So it gets into the county site and automatically goes into the municipal site. This data also supports the tourism directory and associated web page. Currently, we have 4,239 businesses, and we'll add the extra 26 that are coming on board. I noted this is a live directory, so things change minute to minute, and we don't always know. So if you see a business that's no longer operating, please let us know that. And if you know of a business that is opening, please let us know that too. Our main communication vehicle is our bi-weekly e-newsletter. And Deanna Clark is one of the individuals that goes out and does all the community profiles, and the team contributes to all the different workshops and collecting, and this is a regional thing. So if you have workshops going on that's of interest to business, we'll put them into the newsletter. And also, if you have not subscribed to this, the way to do that is investleadsgrenville.com/enews. Currently, we have this going out to 2,512 subscribers, and hear this, 42% open rate, which is very, very high. Industry standard is around 15%, and we've had an increase of 6% over the last over the last 12 months. So key piece, and everyone certainly enjoys all the stories, and Deanna does an amazing job in getting that information out. You heard about the tourism strategy, and this is one of the key things that we have undertaken this year, recognizing that tourism was one of the hardest hit industries. On July 6th, Counties Council received the Regional Tourism Destination Strategy. The vision is to become a year-round destination, and our mission is to nurture regional tourism culture that clearly, inclusively, and collectively balances the needs of our visitors, tourism partners, communities, and environment. In the short term, we'll be developing a business plan for implementation of the strategy while also moving forward with the brand and product experience development. And you just heard Bonnie say that's the hottest item, and that's where we're focusing on as well. More is to come on the tourism side. We recognize that this sector was heavily hit during the pandemic, hence the desire to make sure in rebuilding it, we're taking a very strategic approach. Our 6 strategic areas of focus was passed in 2020, December 2020, and then we had the pandemic. And one of the things that we've always taken a look at, no matter how we're acting, are we still staying true with our strategic areas of focus? And throughout the year, there has been numerous activities that have occurred, some of which you heard about today, and happy to share absolutely all of them with you, more perhaps when we have a post-event cocktail, because I could go on for hours and hours. So that is your economic update. And so I like to finish early and just look at this. There we go. I'm just going to have a proud moment here. So without further ado, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. A couple of things that we want to make sure that you do. Save the date for 2023. We hope to be right back where we are here, Friday, November 17th. And then the following year is when we go back a week for the leap year, somewhere in there. So this one is Friday, November 17th. It always the week before Black Friday. Summit evaluations. Everyone got their summit evaluations? Please make sure you fill them out. It is extremely important so we know what we can improve upon and things that you think, hey, maybe we should do next year as well. Name tag recycling. Drop the little plastic pieces off on your way out. And you can keep the lanyards, but we will reuse the plastic. Return the tag there. And I wish everyone, thank you to all our speakers, but most of all, thank you to each and every one of you who have attended today. We greatly appreciate you coming. Please have a safe drive home and a wonderful weekend. Thank you.